The rumor that is tearing up Harlem is that Camron himself is behind it. People close to the crew believe that Camron is behind it. It's either petty payback gone sideways or a cold-blooded chess move to shame Jim in the most heinous way possible. Did Camron really just burn every bridge left standing because what just slipped out might have permanently destroyed his lifetime bond with Jim Jones? This time, no one is calling it a clout chase. A jaw-dropping video featuring Chrissy Lampkin, raw, deeply personal, and never intended for the world, just went viral. Now, it's more than just a leaked tape. It's shady deals, stolen bags, and a brotherhood that may have been a lie all along. Have you ever witnessed two street legends turn into sworn enemies in front of your eyes? Isn't any fallout from Dipset? Once you realize what's going to happen, your entire perception of Camron will deteriorate. It's not just messy, it's monstrous. And believe me, once you realize that there is no turning back here, don't even consider tapping away. This is the ignition switch for a complete ruin. For a crew that once screamed loyalty code and family above all else, you'd think Camron had limits, even his ego. Well, guess what? Loyalty died screaming last night because of this leak. It's the dirtiest, most surgical betrayal Harlem has seen in years. Let's go back in time. Didn't happen on a gossip page. Instead, it happened on a burner Twitter account with 0 followers. No hashtags, and only raw footage of Chrissy Lampkin, queen of Jim's world, stripped of all privacy in a gut-punch clip that no one was prepared for. At first, fans yelled. Then, the old footage, but the FBI works quickly. Chrissy's face went viral within an hour. TikTok edits flooded timelines. Reaction videos brought in millions of dollars, and before a single source spoke up, Twitter detectives yelled in unison as Cam leaked it. Why would Cam do this? What sick satisfaction could he get from exposing Jim's queen in such a way? Was it jealousy? A silent grudge that had been simmering for decades? Or was this check me in a beef that never really died? To understand this, you have to dig into Dipset's hidden past because while they appeared unbreakable on the outside with their baggy jeans, bandana diplomacy, and brotherly handshakes for the cameras, behind the scenes it was a jungle of power struggles and never-ending ego clashes about who actually led the ship. And as those cracks grew wider with each dollar, they gave clues, sneaky interview photos, and subtle Instagram shade lyrics that were rife with double meanings. And who can forget Cam's shocking Hot 97 sit-down back in 2017? It was a full-on family show where he confessed and made fun of Jim while Jim sobbed. Fans knew that Dipset was stitched together with pride and duct tape. Fast forward to 2025, and the wound never healed. Now that Chrissy's name is being dragged through the two, hear the twisted part. Chrissy and Camron always had a quiet feud in the air back when Chrissy ruled the early 2000s scene. Insiders who begged to remain anonymous claimed that a scandalous tape was hidden on an old Dipset drive. A hard drive that was locked away years ago with access restricted to just a handful of original crew members. Guess who took that drive when the crew split back in the mid-2010s? Coincidence or a time bomb waiting to explode? Jin's queen word was a puppet master who softened Jin's hustle. Barbershop whispers say Kim even pressured Jin to dump her focus. On the streets, Kim and Jim were seen together at a ROC Nation brunch a few days prior to the leak, laughing uncontrollably for the cameras and even igniting rumors of a reunion of the Dipset. If Kim had actually planned this leak, or if it was a snake move disguised as fake smiles, Jim wasn't going to accept it. Hours after the video was deleted, Jim posted a black background Instagram story with 3 icy words, "I see you," and comments flooded in. It's Cam. Without a doubt, Dipset's dead. Jim Solo's era is coming. Jim then added gasoline to the fire with an Instagram live meltdown that cracked 1-2 Live viewers in less than 5 minutes. Unfiltered and uncensored. No, I don't care what anyone says about that man. He has been envious of me since day one. Jim barked into the phone, saying, "You don't drag my woman through the dirt." That clip wasn't an accident. He dropped it to cut me open. The chat went crazy, with emojis and tears and fans fighting in real time as the Dipset stands split into tribal war zones. Jim went deeper, and petty receipts turned into full-on exposure. Don't forget that this is the same guy who stole my tour back in 2011. He told, "In today's gossip game, silence sounds like guilt." In the meantime, the queen herself, Chrissy, Lampkin, who is known for never flinching in public storms, made a quiet yet thunderous move. She went to Cam online, unfollowed him everywhere, scrubbed every old memory, and dropped a single dagger on her story. Bloggers debated all night long, breaking down every line and discussing whether Cam had actually revealed himself as Harlem's biggest snake. The mess is far from over, and just when you thought this Dipset war couldn't get any worse, an anonymous insider dropped another grenade. So-called text exchanges between Camron and a shadowy industry confidant outlined a plot to drop something explosive on Jim's empire before a major bag could close. If these texts are real, we're not talking about petty beef anymore. Is surgical career murder. She didn't tag him, but Harlem knew exactly who she meant. Denied a single word, so please solve this for me. If you're innocent, why would you abandon the world while your name is being slaughtered on every feed? Perhaps you can't plan for this day too with it? And just when you think that Harlem's biggest soap opera has reached its climactic twist, the moment Jim believed he had pulled every Camron skeleton into the light, the betrayal bled deeper, like tearing duct tape off a wound that never healed. In the leaked clip, this so-called insider hyped Cam up to by telling him to plant mistrust seeds and drip out subtle rumors until the world was ready for a final death blow. The messages lay out a darker playbook, with Cam telling an industry partner that he wanted to carpet bomb the man's entire kingdom, not just embarrass him. One chilling line allegedly said, "The right filth will break, he smashed his queen, drained his bag, and split his fan base. Watch him crawl." Yes, his woman. His money, his people, and his money were all fair game in Cam's scorched earth revenge fantasy. Jones was broken, heartbroken, and alone. As these bombshell receipts swept the internet, the scandal turned into a full-scale street fight. Fans who had grown up listening to Dipset anthems and wearing matching bandanas were split in two. Dunes. Day once declared Cam to be a cold-blooded traitor, a Judas, and Pink Mink Cam's loyal holdouts, whom Fuya buffed, called him a survivor, doing what was necessary to protect himself from Jim's alleged backstabbing. But take a moment to consider this. What could drive a man to blow up a brotherhood that built an empire? The truth is harsh. The further this PR train goes, the sharper the real question cuts. Wasn't just betrayal. It was grand larceny with matching chains. Now flip the camera. Maybe it was never just professional, ever about a video. Or was this just slow burn jealousy dressed up as business? Then, as if karma clocked over time, shady old paperwork mysteriously appeared on shady blogs and Twitter receipts pages. The paperwork showed how Jin was cheated out of huge Dipset money while Cam pocketed solo deals behind locked doors. Rumor has it that Cam secured multi-million-dollar back-end checks while telling Jim it's light work. We'll split it later. Isn't TikTok gossip? Perhaps Chrissy's tape was a pawn in a larger chess game. Longtime fans recall the rumors from ROC Nation brunch drama Quiet Dinners, when Cam skipped Jim's passive-aggressive tweets about being left out in the cold while Kim made deals with suits in private. Some claim that Jim felt abandoned, while others claim that Cam felt dragged down. In any case, the bond rotted from the inside for years prior to this blow-up. And Jim's raw Spitfire IG rant lit up a time bomb beneath Dipset's entire legacy. 1 minute was the blueprint for Harlem unity. And the next minute, its Exhibit A for the internet smelled blood and went full detective. Everyone from strange bloggers to bored TikTok teens searched for hidden shade in old videos, frozen frame blurry memes, and compared past interviews. The burning question that is trending is, did Kim sabotage Jim for decades while feigning to wave the Dipset flag? So, maybe the most twisted takedown in hip-hop history. A brother's sneak attacking a brother with the nastiest blow. A scandal that destroys family finances and sends ardent fans to the other camp overnight. Cam's radio silence, not even a denial meme or a shady tweet that only transformed his ghost mode into a guilty verdict as fans dug deeper. They discovered a nasty pattern, a trail of ghosted artists and burned bridges dating back 20 years. Old group photos of Cam hugging rappers who later cursed him on tracks appeared. It turns out that crossing the camera means you disappear, like last week's mixtape. And when Cam stops talking, you should freak out because he's already finished the job and wants you to blame everyone but him. But the worst part is that the leaks didn't stop with Chrissy's moment. Rumor has it that an entire vault cracked, open, revealing more receipts, screenshots, financial receipts, and old demises, all fed to Shady. It is said that the puppet master was close to both Cam and Jim during the hustle days. Now they are directing the drama, selling exclusives, and gaining a lot of views by transforming a legendary bond into a pay-per-view train wreck. Rumor has it that the puppet master even offered both sides hush deals and reunion stunts? If they would play ball and let him milk the feud dry. However, power like this doesn't get shared, so the puppet master lit the match, locked the doors, and watched Harlem's biggest dynasty rips itself to pieces. So, who's actually in charge of this twisted circus cam? Is Jim or Secret Snake clever enough to make both men dance? Whatever the answer, two things are certain. First, the dips we knew are 6 feet under, and second, the wreckage left behind will tarnish every tour, interview, and memory that fans held dear. And believe me, we haven't seen the worst yet. Stay locked in because this storm has more bodies to drag out. And now, the final gruel in this heart-stopping drama, where the ruin is no longer hidden behind closed doors, but rather a 5-alarm. Blaze for the entire world to witness when two giants split apart in this is a raw post-mortem on trust, betrayal, power moves, and how quickly this game devours its own legends when loyalty dies. As everyone binge-watched every twist of this train wreck, something nastier slithered out of the shadows. And the money bled way uglier than any diss track, meme, or petty Instagram live. Deep in both camps, managers, ex-label sharks, and tour crews began whispering to blogs that both kings were bleeding green, not just clout. These weren't just fan rumors either. These were insiders with receipts who were watching sponsors' ghosts and deals disappear in real time. Take Jim Jones, the man who turned hood love into boardroom partnerships. He saw several endorsement checks vanish overnight. One luxury brand that was once plastered all over his Instagram quietly iced him out. Why is it so messy? The brand wants its logo to be dragged through a scandal involving leaked tapes and a brotherhood meltdown. And Camron, Mr. Comeback Season, himself discovered that the hype didn't match reality. Just when he thought he was going to reboot his solo crown, his phone kept ringing with cancellation calls. Backers backed out, promoters ghosted him, and there were even more sinister rumors that Cam owed a significant amount of money to an old label executive. Name: Toxic. It was as obvious as daybreak that this feud had evolved from simple gossip to a financial room with beats and betrayal as background music. Both men were forced to either cut the nonsense or watch the empire fall apart into foreclosure notices and court summonses. The lawyers then arrived like sharks sniffing blood. First, Jim fired the first legal cannon, which is to say that he slapped Kim with a defamation bomb and took him to court for slander. Malicious gossip and the mental torture from Chrissy's stolen moment. His people leaked to the press that they pushed this to the very end, and if Cam didn't pay millions and plead for forgiveness in a public apology, nobody would care. I'm the victim, not the villain, with paperwork flying in all directions, legal. Eagles predicted a marathon brawl, and every week this drags on. Fans lose hope, respect, and, let's be honest, the last shreds of D-Pat's golden legacy. Now, here's the gut punch. The real losers aren't just camera gems. They're the day one fans who got inked with dips, set tats, blasted mixtapes from broken speakers, and wore that iconic Eagle logo-like armor. At first, fan loyalty was unwavering. One camp yelled, "Team Jim Cam's a snake," while the other camp yelled, "Cam protected himself." Jim's no saint either. It was back and forth until timelines bled red, but the deeper fans dug, the more shaky the ground felt. Leaked clips showed Jim slumped in a studio chair, crying and struggling to fall while scrolling through his phone. He whispered to no one, "This is what they think of me after everything I gave them." Cam, the Ghost King, meanwhile, hardly blinked once. Truth stings. Deal with it. No apology, no press run, no olive branch, just a grenade that exploded a million conspiracy threads overnight. Fans began piecing it together. Maybe Cam was never just a flashy genius in pink furs. Perhaps he was the puppet master all along, pulling strings and burning bridges when they stopped serving him. That eerie silence was his final move. Let the chaos eat everyone alive while he remained untouchable. This isn't a diss battle anymore. Strains, every scream, every crack in their armor. And the worst part is that no matter how deep this courtroom dogfight goes, the wounds won't heal, the brands won't return, the sponsors won't forget, and the kids who once worshipped Dipset now see their idols as cautionary tales, proving that loyalty is a disposable luxury in this game. So buckle up, because when the verdicts and settlements come in, the only question that remains is who lost more, Cam Jim or every soul who believed in Dipsetuntal? The bitter end. Stay tuned, because this is the last page of an era, and the stain will never wash off while the internet splits into battle. The camps overnight, some protecting their favorite Harlem king, others cleaning their hands of Dipset's once uncontrollable army, looked like a ghost town. As the fans fought, more power slipped through their fingers, and everyone watching knew exactly who to blame. The dynasty they built was on the verge of collapse, brick by brick. The only question that remains is whether there is enough trust left to put this back together and order these two to bury their differences forever. However, let's briefly bring Chrissy back into the spotlight, because behind every headline and viral video sat the woman both men vowed to protect: Chrissy, Lampkin, Jim's queen and Harlem's first lady. This feud isn't just two rap titans fighting. It's family lines, loyalty tests, and decades of dirty secrets coming to light. And everyone in their circle, from managers to old friends, wants to know what happened. The name was dragged through the digital gutter when that tape hit the timeline. But the plot twist nobody saw coming. Whisperers say Chrissy wasn't blindsided, while insiders say she might have leaked all the footage before it leaked. Some even swear she begged Jim to shut Cam down before the bomb dropped. It's nothing to do with the fallout. It's a PR mushroom cloud that no brand or friend wants near their name. This raises the million-dollar question. Could Dipset ever rise again? Did these two men poison their own legacies so deeply that it can never be recovered from? Because it's not just street cred on trial anymore. It's their seats in hip-hop's Hall of Legends. From the look of things, there's no simple solution. The lawsuits pile up, the headlines get uglier every day, and the whole rap world waits for the next twist. One thing is for sure, though. The book on this brotherhood isn't finished yet. And there you have it, the unrepentant, raw breakdown of a Camron and June Jones implosion that is rewriting hip-hop history, one leaked receipt at a time. Here's where you come in, though. Whose side are you on? Did Kim go too far? Or did Jim play victim while pocketing perks all these years? Sound off in the comments, don't hold back. I read every hot take and clap back. So choose your side. Hashtag Team Can, hashtag Team Gim, or hashtag Team Burn It All Down. If you're blown today, hit the like button. Send this video to your crew and hit subscribe right away, because I promise you, we're digging deeper, spilling hotter tea, and pulling every skeleton out of the vault. So remain locked in. Keep your receipts close at hand. And bear in mind that when it comes to revealing the truth, we never hesitate. I'll see you in the next drop.